and welcome to It's a Matter of Principles on EDU TV. I am Pranav Guha Thakurta, founder EDU TV, and I'm excited to delve into today's topic, transition from school and beyond. We are honored to be joined by Mrs.Sonali Gupta, principal of the prestigious Indian Language School in Lagos, Nigeria. Her expertise will provide us with a deep understanding of how students can effectively transition from school to their next chapters. A warm welcome also to our host, Ms. Shreebha Pillai from Symbiosis International University, Dubai. Her thoughtfulness questions will drive our discussion forward. Thank you all for being here, and over to our host, Shreebha.
Thank you, Pranav. Thank you so much, and a very good morning, ma'am. Thank you for joining. And a few questions we as a university to school transition, when students join us, a lot of questions that or the challenges that we don't know or we might want to hear from you. That normally when a student joins the university, we have to handle them very carefully. See, considering that they have come from a school where they will know the transition phase for a student, some students might take it very lightly. Some students, it is very difficult for them just to get into that university phase. So, according to you, ma'am, what are the most common challenges that students face during, when a transition happens? What do you hear from students?
All right. Good morning, Shreebha, and a big thank you to Mr. Pranav. The journey with Mr. Pranav goes a long way, especially during the COVID times when he had just started. I'm so proud to know that, you're really taking very mega steps and you're doing very well for yourself. A big congratulations for that, and may you progress more. Coming back to the question that you just asked, I think the children in the present times are still very blessed because they have a whole lot of exposure that comes their way, not only from, the internet or not only from the guidance that they receive from their parents, but schools are now the epicenters for guidance. We have the guidance counselors in every school, and these counselors kind of help them to pave their path for an onward journey. What I like about the schools, and I don't agree completely with what you've said, that the process of joining is, a little wavery and it's not very clear to the student. On the contrary, I would say many schools, including our school, does a whole lot of things for the students. I would say beginning from grade 8 or grade 9, we do an exercise for the students where the student tries to identify the strengths, weaknesses, what are the threats, opportunities, a SWOT analysis of themselves. And then we also know, being a CBSE school, that, a couple of new tests like SUFFLE and other kind of, diagnostic tests have been put in place. And these diagnostic tests actually help you to identify what are the key areas in which you can, progress further. There are psychometric tests also which are available in schools where the child clearly identifies which are the career pathways the child can take. In my school, for example, in grades 10, 11, and 12, it's a done thing every week, at least 3 times in a week, that children have one-to-one individual sessions with a career counselor, and in which there is a proper guidance given as to, considering what is their aptitude, what is their inclination, what type of career pathway would be suitable, which type of universities can they go to, what are the standardized tests that would be required for admissions. And the whole process starts like kind of a year earlier than their application process. So they have a whole lot of time where, a child understands that which career pathway they can take. I'm very happy to again say this, that CBSE long time back, I would say about 6-7 years back, had introduced the aptitude test after the grade 10 board examinations, which is one of the mandatory requirement to get into grade 11. Now, the journey begins, you could say, in a more clear manner or a specific manner from this very stage, where the child does the aptitude test and gets a whole detailed information into what career pathway does the child have. And it has several subcategories. I'm not going to go into the detail of those, but I think that's a very good way of understanding what your future holds for you. And I think, Shreebha, we are living in a 21st century where we cannot say that this particular career pathway is cut out for us. You know, the chances of now moving from one field to another, you know, graduating in one, post-graduating in another, because what we are bringing along with us is our real life experiences, the experiences that we have with the world and interacting with the world. Again, a very positive initiative of most of the schools and also CBSE is offering internships, right? Children go for internships, look at, you know, get the hands-on experience, look at the environment that's there, whether they're really cut out for that or not. So a whole lot of things are kind of there in the bag that could be used, like a toolkit or something which is mandatory or something which is essential to understand. The best thing that I would say at the moment is not studying in silos, having a combination of subjects. You have inclination for something, like for science, a lot of students say they have an inclination, but when they come to grade 11, they realize, oh, this is not our cup of tea. I'm better at humanities. And equal opportunities given to all the different type of, you could say, subjects and not streams. This is something which is really, really good for the children in the 21st century. And also, I would like to say over here, introduction of skill subjects and subjects like design thinking, which involve problem solving, creativity. These are the things which are required in the present world. So I slightly disagree with what you said. There is a whole lot that is available. We have to look in the right direction.
Right. Ma'am, one thing that, you know, what you feel from your perspective, that what university should be prepared with, or how we should be, you know, prepared in welcoming students, or what kind of positivity or what kind of approach should we as a university be, you know, going forward?
Right. So since I worked in Dubai, I know how the Dubai world is, and Dubai is moving towards an educational hub. I think the universities really do a lot of things in Dubai. They ensure that the students are, you know, felt, you know, made comfortable. They feel at home. There's a whole lot of assurance that comes, especially in that part of the world, which I'm very happy to say at the moment, because I worked in a school and I know how the smooth transitioning happens in that part of the world. Having said that, there is always room for improvement. What I like about the West and the American universities, which many universities in Dubai are already doing, is the orientation programs that we have, where the families are also welcome, the parents are welcome, they do trips, they take tours, not only to understand about the working of the university and the kind of facilities that are available, which is already done well in advance before you finally select or finally decide that this is the university we want to go to. Apart from that, the orientation sessions are really important. Getting to know about the strengths of your university. What is it that your university can offer you? That is something which is very important. The freshman students, these orientations help to support them to make friends, to kind of get familiarized with the environment, get familiarized with, you know, the areas in the university, the different types of offices that are there. That holds a lot of relevance. That also gives a reassurance to a student that, hey, I'm not alone in this journey. If I'm coming new to the university, so are my peers. Together, we'll explore it. And together, we embark this new journey, which is very important, you know. Also, I think there's one thing that universities can do is maybe a day or two, and I'm sure many of them would be doing, like an interactive session with the faculty. Know your faculty kind of thing. This is something that we do at our school. When the child comes in, a day of orientation, and know your faculty, know who your teachers are, what are their expectations, how do they teach, what is their teaching methodology, what do they expect from a student, how interactive the class is going to be, are there new methodologies or techniques that we are going to use in a class? If yes, then what are they? familiarizing them with, the usage of the multimedia technology that we are bringing to the classes. We've children coming from all different types of backgrounds, and many of them may not have gone to the best schools or the smart classes, and such kind of orientation also is something that I feel would be important. And last of all, children love the environment, the culture. That's something that we should work on. And of course, canteen is a hot spot, for most of them. Things like that which make them feel more comfortable, wanted, welcomed is what I think universities should look at.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
And a kind of a direct contact with the admissions counselor, one-to-one, contact, so that anytime, you can reach out through an email or a phone call or any kind of a message, you feel that there's someone for you on campus. And that's very important. So I think the role of the counselor again at the university is something which is very important. And that bond has to be strengthened further. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. And one question that I had in mind, because you mentioned about parents, I wanted to know that, how much do you involve parents in this transition journey, how involved are the parents with your school, do you actually make parents also, because usually for parents are the ones who are most tense, or they are the ones who have a lot of questions, maybe the child might be comfortable enough, and they are fine, but the parents are the ones, oh, how will my child, and then why are the classes only these many hours? So, these are the kind of questions that parents have, So
that
how do you prepare parents?
True.
Yeah, how do you prepare parents?
Yeah. So if I may say, there's another side of story to that. A lot of parents are working mothers and fathers. So they have very little time in, coming and getting involved. However, I think it's a continuous endeavor of every school and every college to try to bring them more and more to the school campus. So I will talk about from the experience that I have of my school. First is the orientation that we do. When they come, in fact, for the admission process, there's a bit of orientation that's done by the admissions officer, and some familiarizing and tour, etc. That's what we do. When the child comes to seek admission or the admission test is done and all of that is done, we then again have an orientation session of telling them what are our expectations from the parents. And I always start with one line: we will never trouble you. A good institution is one where the headache of the parent is taken by the institution and the people in the institution. You will be called only when it's essential. So it's an unsaid way and a silent way of saying that, oh, you're not needed at all times. But the real message is that you should be present whenever you are needed. So what we do then thereafter, this message has gone, they're now relieved that their headache is taken. Give them that headache whenever it is needed. Give them that onus and responsibility. Try to involve them in several activities. Like sometime back in our school, at the Independence Day, a couple of parents read very good, since we are associated with the High Commission. So we have this function at the High Commission. So parents are, coming in, they were reciting their poems and, they were talking about, the scenarios and couplets they were saying. So we organized a very informal type of this competition of the parents where they came with the poems that they had written. Again, a way of involving them, getting back to the school, coming back to visit the school, getting involved in the environment, or what is it that's happening in the month of August in a school. School is always talking about the Independence Day celebrations. So it's like getting them involved. So think of ways and opportunities by which you can have a parent evening sometime. We have these orientation sessions where we have, different tables, or you could say different stalls where parents visit. What are the teaching methodologies that are followed? One day, a very mini exhibition in school, a mini kind of affair for grade 3 children, parents coming and seeing what did they do, during their classes involving art integration, because that's the focus for our year. So things like that where, parents are forced to come to school with the mindset, with the thinking that they'll be bothered only when it is needed. So they know that they're going to be called lesser number of times, but at the same time, you're working on their mind to get them involved more and more.
Right. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. And one last question from my end would be, what would be the advice, ma'am, that you would want to give children who are looking at joining up university soon? What would one advice? Because a lot of students are confused. Maybe they have something in their mind that they want to go for this program. I want to become this, but they have different feedbacks from uncles, aunties, parents, everyone. What would be one advice that you would be giving in for them?
I would say start very early. If I was given the opportunity, I would say, and if I had that kind of infrastructure and that kind of budget, I would look at starting the career counseling right from grade 5 or 6 onwards. There is no harm in trying to identify yourself. What are your choices? These days, professions are what your passions are. That sense of direction should be given right early in the stage of their life and their schooling, and also exposure, especially during the bagless days that we have. We try to give the exposure to the children to diverse fields. Starting on early is very, very important. And then the reassurance from the educators, especially the universities, that no matter what the percentage of marks, what the combination of subjects you have, it's all right to be interested in diverse roles, diverse subjects, but yet achieving your goal. I think here it's a piece of advice for the universities as well, to be more flexible with the combination of subjects that children can be accepted with. I think engineering, just having fixed mathematics, physics, chemistry, if something else would come into play, it would be more interesting, it would be more reassuring, not only to the parents, but also to the students. And the onward journey of getting to the university should be made like something that can get easily blended into the system, not something that makes you very anxious and makes you feel that, oh, what would happen when I get to the university? We're going to another higher level. Education is going to be much more, intense and difficult. How am I going to do it? And of course, the teaching methodologies are something we really have to look upon, trying to engage the students in every way possible so that, they are themselves a part of this new journey. So I think that's the kind of mindset I have, and I feel that would go a long way in supporting our new generation, which are going to be the flag bearers, of the times to come. So thank you so much for this.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. It was wonderful having a session with you and getting to know, what as a university can we improve
Thank you
or
so
what
much.
can we look at. Thank you so much. It was a wonderful session, and wishing all the best to your
Thank
students.
you. Thank you so much, Shreebha.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot for the wishes. And I really thank again Mr. Pranav Guha Thakurta for giving me this opportunity. And I know I've not been able to, give you time earlier, but apologies for that. And I wish you all the luck and best wishes. And we hope to see each other again sometime.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you, Pranav.
I'll come in person and see you, ma'am. Ma'am, I am impressed with your work. I see it in the social media also. And today, the kind of things you have done in the High Commission, invited parents, they sang or they recited poems out there. I think it should be appreciated, ma'am. I think this kind of innovation, I'm really hats off to Mrs.Sonali Gupta. Thank you so much. And I'm also like to thank Ms. Shreebha Pillai.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Connecting students and universities is tremendous. At a young age, she's doing a wonderful job. Thank you so much.
Good, very good.
Gupta, and thank you so much, Shreebha. Bye.
Thank you.